Dear friends, welcome. My name is Alexey Ognev. I'm the CEO of the DigiU ecosystem. This is our first webinar in 2025. The year has started quite actively, both for our company and for the international IT and crypto project markets. We will cover that a bit today. I'll try to briefly remind you how 2024 ended. It was an incredibly packed and highly productive year for the ecosystem. Probably one of the most fruitful periods in our history together. We increased the number of projects. We launched our first potential unicorn, the AVA project, and the Cross-Curve project. Cross-Curve was listed on exchanges. It has huge partnerships and excellent traction. We will see how this has impacted the ecosystem. We did a huge amount of work updating our tokenized real estate projects and our launchpad. And even towards the end of the year, we managed to open applications for another very interesting infrastructure-focused project. It's quite simple in its concept, but at the same time, extremely solid and reliable. I'm talking about Solana blockchain validators. And we received a lot of interest, a large number of applications. Today, we'll try to go over the main milestones of development. We are also happy to give the floor to Aydar, the CEO of the Launchpad project, and Alexander E., General Partner of the WebWise Capital Venture Fund. We will see how they have started the year. There are a lot of events happening there. Overall, this is a kind of an opening webinar, although our whole team has been actively working practically from the first week of this year. Of course, we made sure everyone could rest, but without any processes suffering. Because we finished the year very, very intensely. Let me remind you, we had the final webinar summarizing the positive and very encouraging results of the ecosystem's 5th anniversary. We completed the collection of applications for the share buyback and received just over 1,700 applications from those wishing to exit the ecosystem. Now, the next stage is beginning. We are calculating individual rates, and around early to mid-February, an interface will appear where everyone who applied can see their individual offer. This will be calculated based on many parameters, essentially a kind of rating. It's not exactly a rating overall, it's more of a model that reflects all of the client's actions within the ecosystem, their investment date, payment discipline, and inactivities. Basically, all those who actively contributed based on certain parameters and investment timeframe. For example, those who invested in the ecosystem at an early stage will naturally have a greater profit. This profit ranges from 10 to 200%. We proudly announced this. In mid-February, the individual rate will be offered, and you can agree or simply take a look and decide whether it's easy to part with your portfolio of promising projects that consolidate DigiU ecosystem shares. Or if you do not intend to part with them at all. We expect that out of these 1,777 applications, a certain number of people, I think, will simply look and click reject. I remind you, just in case, that we announced this in the terms and conditions beforehand. If you don't confirm, the application will be cancelled. So, I strongly draw your attention to this. Stay tuned for updates. Check your account at least once a week. This way, you won't miss it and you can confirm your application. Actually, this is a very significant event for the ecosystem. It's another trigger confirming our viability, our ideas, our competencies, our business strategies. Confirmation of the buyback, which is essentially secured by AVA's entry into the public market, and by the effective work of the Venture Capital Fund. The fund already exceeded its 2024 plan for attracting commercial projects. There are already over 23 with validators and some other deals currently in the fund's portfolio at the consideration stage. We have already considered about 25 commercial projects. The fund's valuation speaks for itself. If we talk about the goals for 2025 that we have set, it's work on the legal side, and this is largely dictated by the market conditions we are operating in. Legal structuring is becoming an increasingly important parameter. This year has been marked by such rapid growth in the crypto market. Just recently, something incredible is happening related to the token of the President of the United States of America, essentially with a meme token. It's even hard to call it any kind of technology. It's some kind of hype or something similar. In general, the market is changing very sharply, and the legal parameter is becoming more and more important and significant. Because the market is like this now, but very serious regulation could come at any time. And all those projects that do not have the appropriate parameters will gradually leave this market. Leave, for example, not in the sense that someone will remove them, but in the sense that they won't receive investments. They won't be able to conduct any activity. Therefore, we are currently working extremely actively to complete the reorganization of our company. This is one of the goals for the first half of the year. We are working on obtaining various crypto licenses and banking licenses in different regions and different countries in order to have access to traditional liquidity, to banking liquidity, and to increasingly fill our RWA bank and RWA marketplace, to implement services in the form of crypto loans, crypto mortgages, and everything else. Also, one of the goals for 2025 is to build up professional teams, because we have encountered obviously both the high efficiency of the existing team and a significant shortage of people towards the end of the year. When there are many projects, everyone is busy, there's a lot to do. People were working without days off, and clearly some competencies were lacking. We had to search, we had to spend time on it. And accordingly, 2025 is the year for even further expansion of our already professional team. This applies to the Venture Capital Fund, our technical department, and specific projects. For example, the Launchpad is currently actively recruiting specialists. Today, Aidar will share achievements. He will also remind us what has been happening and what the project is focused on. In general, legal aspects, team expansion, and the intensive development of those areas that we have been developing for several years. This includes the fund, the RWA ecosystem, the Launchpad ecosystem, and of course, the DigiU ecosystem itself. And this decision to resume sales is essentially dictated precisely by the state of the market. Already towards the end of the year, it was clear that there was a very, very high probability of an upswing in which we need to be as fast and efficient as possible and create that financial safety net. And a safety net of technological projects and startups in order to have a margin of safety in the inevitable bear market. We probably know better than anyone how difficult it's when the margin of safety is minimal or even at its limit. Although we managed to navigate the last crypto market downturn with dignity and even invest and attract talent somewhere. And this is all thanks to the crowdfunding, crowd investing model that our company chose at the start, which allows a large number of people to make their first investment sometimes. their first serious investments in cryptocurrency, to understand new technologies, and so on. Obviously, this decision is both strategically correct and correct from a business perspective, because we saw how effective it's to be the main liquidity provider for the fund. And the goal that was set, to become precisely the main liquidity provider, is a priority for us. And in fact, I'm reminding you of it now. And based on these goals, the team, legal framework, and each of the projects are being resourced. And with the goal of being the main liquidity provider, we are starting this year, and of course, some other goals and circumstances will be added. Somewhere we will need to move faster, somewhere we will need to change direction. This is inevitable, but it's the market. But the main milestones remain, so from the immediate events, it's the launch of the validator product towards the end of the year. As I told you in one of the final webinars, we will make sure that we are very likely to launch another project, one that is infrastructure focused and at the same time, from the conceptual point of view, it's somewhat simple, which ensures its reliability. Plus, already having the experience of launching such large infrastructure projects as AVA and CrossCurve, which already processes billions of transactions, which has huge, very serious technological partners, and which launched very successfully and continues to gain momentum. Alexander will talk about this in a little more detail. So, we have moved into the next stage. This is when partnerships are already, for example, with large and promising blockchains, which we are partly betting on both through the fund and in general. As those who understand the current market a bit, this is the Solana blockchain, an American company. We are now seeing that American blockchain companies, with the arrival of the new president, are likely to emerge into a priority cohort of companies. And in this case, we believe the Solana Foundation is one of the right directions to develop in. And with our technological expertise, we are launching this project in partnership with the foundation. At the end of the year, we started collecting applications. And now we are moving to connect the first validators and launch on mainnet. We have the technological expertise and the necessary infrastructure to support all of this. The most crucial thing is reaching the mainnet stage. This typically takes around a year to 18 months, but Alexander will elaborate on that. Currently, we are in the testnet stage, where you need to be an active validator, complete all tasks, and prove you are up to the challenge. Because we are, and approximately a year from now, you will become a fully fledged validator and start earning rewards from the Solana blockchain in Solana tokens. They recently hit almost $300. Obviously, it's a volatile asset, but we see potential for growth, perhaps to $500, maybe even $1,000, meaning the rewards could be in the tens of thousands of dollars. And even if we consider a price of $200 to $250, we project that in the first year of mainnet, when it's fully operational, your income after deducting expenses could be $20,000 or $30,000 depending on the price. Therefore, there is a lot of interest. But this product isn't for everyone. There is a high entry barrier. You need around 100 Solana tokens to set up your validator and maintain its operation. So it's not for everyone, but we definitely see that we have clients for this. We understand that it's an effective product for us. As a company, we can allocate some assets to have our own nodes and generate profit from them in a year, pay dividends, maybe even very high dividends. Perhaps exploit it in other ways too. So, we finished the year with pride, not in a slump or relaxing, but working very hard, launching yet another product. Therefore, everyone who has applied, or those who are considering it, please do apply. But keep in mind that this is a product with a high average check. It involves setup fees and having the required amount of Solana tokens. So simply applying without being ready doesn't make sense. But if you're ready, if you understand everything, and there are quite a few such people in our community, then welcome. We are waiting for you and plan to become one of the largest validators within this program. Alexander will share his opinion on this shortly. For us, for DigiU as a liquidity provider for the fund, this is one of those already clear earning tools, not just a project. We understand that we will raise 100 validators, maybe even more. In a year, we will be earning hundreds of thousands of dollars and sharing this profit with our co-owners. This is a clear business process with clear competencies needed. And we are already launching these nodes and encourage you to join. But again, as co-owners of DigiU ecosystem shares, you are co-owners of all projects. In this case, you receive income through dividends. It's different when you participate directly. So, what's the beauty, the uniqueness, and what I am very proud of in the DigiU ecosystem? It's that we provide the opportunity to participate in the high-tech market without risk by being a co-owner for $100, $500, and to directly enter specific projects, perhaps become a co-owner of a potential unicorn like Ava. And now we see how people are happily receiving their tokens that were from the snapshot, going to the vesting portal, claiming they're safe. An interface will soon be available there, where you can manage it not through the blockchain and receive rewards, participate in voting, but simply and conveniently through the website. It should launch any day now. Observing the chats, I see how people don't understand something, complain about us, saying it's all complicated, and then step by step, support answers them. I answer in the chats, and by the third or fourth attempt, the person manages to do everything to the end, gets satisfaction from figuring it out. It really is not very simple. We also encounter people buying many ledger wallets and other things. Yes, it's secure, but initially it's very complicated and it's all frustrating and stressful. But you still do it. I mentally applaud with great pleasure. These are adults and even elderly people, and we are very proud that we can provide you with this opportunity to participate in all of this together with us. We are fulfilling a social role. We are popularizing. And now, those who have claimed they're safe and those who are participating in this program with high yields, you can farm AVA, deposit your assets into various pools, and very securely receive triple-digit yields. It's fantastic. And it's a joint effort that we, as an entire ecosystem, have achieved by supporting AVA from the start through difficult periods and continuing to support it now. By the way, it's worth mentioning that a vote is happening until a certain date. I don't remember exactly. Just a couple of days ago, from when you are watching this webinar, a post came out where we ask you to vote for the AVA project on the website. It's participating in the major startup show on an American channel. AVA is the only blockchain project there, but essentially competing with the likes of SpaceX and other projects. So please go to the website, vote, and support them. If possible, write comments to support Ava. This all greatly increases publicity. The American market is currently #1 for crypto projects, while this long-awaited bull run is happening. And we are seeing this unusual stars with Trump tokens and everything else. So, support Ava, vote. I think we will add a link to this vote somewhere and maybe a video about this event. Once again, we extend our heartfelt support to the Ava team, Boris and Peter, because these people are working non-stop. They are creating history in DeFi and cryptocurrencies in general. I propose we move on. I didn't expect myself to be so talkative in this part, because we still have presentations from both Idar and Alexander. So, one of our goals is the development of the Launchpad ecosystem. At the end of the year, the term AI agent resonated with many, and for us, we see this as confirmation of the theory, at least in echoes, or at most harbingers, of a digital copy of identity, where a program called an AI agent performs certain independent actions. Obviously, it's not a fully fledged identity, but still, representing an echo of a digital copy of a human personality. We at the DigiU ecosystem are delving into this, studying it further. For us, it wasn't unexpected, because we've been testing and studying such agents since 2020. And now tech giants are starting to create and implement them, and we are seeing their emergence. The Launchpad has already implemented an AI agent. Let's give the floor to Idar and hear about the plans, achievements, and goals. Hey everyone, Idar here. Hope you are all doing great and, like us, have already gotten back into the swing of things for this awesome year, 2025, after all the holidays. I wanted to quickly share some highlights from last year with you. Also, talk about what our main focus is right now, what we are working on, and give you a quick look at our plans for the next couple of months. Let's start with last year's highlights. First off, we launched last year. It was a big year for us. Second, we ran 5 sales on our Launchpad. Third, we managed to change our Launchpad's business model and find a model where everyone profits. We also saw our valuation grow to $2.5 million, which is fantastic. Overall, we gained around 700,000 active audience members across all our social media platforms. Focusing on the wallet specifically, we have over 30,000 active wallet users. The wallet now supports more than 4 EVM networks, plus Bitcoin as a fifth. Last year, we launched the game Capitalist, which helps us onboard new users. We also did the airdrop we promised to our community. We distributed it towards the end of the year and got really great feedback, which makes us want to keep giving our community opportunities to earn through these kinds of activities. Now, talking about our main focus, I'd probably start by saying that just today we launched a feature in production that allows everyone to buy cryptocurrency directly within the wallet using Visa or MasterCard, basically through your bank cards. This will really simplify onboarding for new users and make participating much more convenient. You can now easily buy with your fiat currency. It works in all countries. We are still refining the overall functionality. We have a new wallet update coming soon. The interface will be changing. The user experience will be simpler and more intuitive. We will also be adding a new feature to our wallet, quests. This is what we are actively working on right now. It will let you complete on-chain actions directly within the wallet and earn rewards for it. So that's coming. At the same time, we are talking with blockchains and projects. We have a lot of projects in the pipeline that could potentially launch on our launchpad. We're actively negotiating and looking for potentially profitable deals for our community. We're also in talks with various blockchains, both new and established, to explore partnerships. We can offer them an active user base, and in return, we can get incentives and rewards for our community. We are also actively testing an AI agent right now. Basically, our capitalist game is evolving into a real AI agent that can give you guidance, explain how to play the game, how to earn more, and answer common questions. We will be continuously improving it, of course. Moving smoothly into a quick look at our upcoming plans. This is all part of our sandbox. Let's call it our lab environment. We are exploring everything related to AI agents. We are testing, launching our own AI agents, and really looking at developing a platform. If we see the need, demand, and if the model is effective, we will be happy to bring a new model to our community soon. So, that's a quick overview of what we are working on. One of our main plans is to keep improving the user interface to make it even more user-friendly. We also plan to grow our active wallet user base and, of course, create more rewards and earning opportunities for them, like the Launchpad and other things. So, to wrap things up, thanks for listening. I would love to hear your questions, ideas, or comments. You know where to find us on social media, and I hope to connect with you again soon. I will be able to share what's new then. I wish everyone a happy new year. See you soon. We thank Aidar for his hard work, for his effective approach, and for following trends. And probably soon we'll see that it's not just following, but already predicting trends. Because the team's work and the projects that are already launching on the Launchpad and those that will launch are becoming more and more precise. And the infrastructure is becoming more serious. This is very great. The business model of the Launchpad ecosystem itself is a three-sided win-win combination. It's beneficial for the Launchpad ecosystem, for the projects that come in and receive funding, and for the users who participate in these earlier rounds, receive rewards, promote in some ways, and participate as early investors. I recently saw an article somewhere stating that such ideas, both crowdfunding and this type of financing, are among the priority directions for cryptocurrencies and blockchain. This made me very happy, because we have been working effectively in this market for 5 years. I think this year we will manage to surprise you with our approaches, projects, and achievements. And now let's give the floor to Alexander, because who better than him knows these nuances and market trends? And in general, before this webinar, we collected questions. Actually, there were not that many. We encourage you to participate more actively, because I read your questions and I prepare. There were questions related to how to manage AVA tokens, and Alexander will share about that. There were also questions about the share buyback. In general, at the beginning of the webinar, I already started to reveal this topic. We are expecting the next stage, and the next stage is an individual rate, agreement with a buyback, and then the buyback itself. Accordingly, let's give the floor to Alexander to hear his opinion about the market, about AVA, and how this project phenomenally influenced the fund, the ecosystem, and the market as a whole, and also to learn about the validator project. And in this case, Alexander's opinion is fundamental because this is a project that we received through the fund, and we are implementing it thanks to Alexander being in close contact with Solana and other blockchains. So let's give him the floor. Hello, dear colleagues, investors, partners. Happy to welcome you all to the new year. Hope you have all had a good rest and are back in work mode. We certainly are. I will give you a quick update on our view of things after the AVA listing. It's been almost a month now. I will also talk about the Solana validator product and share some thoughts on the crazy stuff happening in the crypto market. With the launch of the Trump meme coin by Melania, Trump's wife, and so on. So let's take it step by step, starting with AVA. We're seeing a lot of questions about what to do, how to lock up tokens, how to manage them, how to earn with them, and so on. As we have said, information is coming. There will be instructions, webinars, different strategies will be outlined for everyone to choose what suits them, because you can, for example, lock tokens for a longer period or a shorter one. For instance, Michael Egorov, the founder of Curve, just locked all his tokens for 4 years today, which really pleased the market. But everyone can have different strategies, and those will be generally described. But for now, the functionality isn't there for those who can do things through smart contracts. But a user-friendly interface, accessible to most people, isn't available yet. AVA plans to release it soon. After this functionality is released, all the instructions, answers, recommendations, and descriptions of possible strategies will appear. So that's about AVA. We see the AVA listing as quite positive. As we said, we were prepared for any scenario. Moreover, after the AVA listing, investors themselves started reaching out, wanting to buy tokens on the OTC market, meaning not on the exchange, but for example with a lockup on the over-the-counter market. Large communities that provide liquidity have also invested. Many partnerships are in the works. Despite the huge amount of work done at the end of the last year, the AVA team was really tired. So, many were on vacation in January. But still, despite that, new blockchains were connected, and work is now getting back up to full speed. There is a lot to do, because I'll remind you, there is a grant from the Tone Foundation for $500,000. Accordingly, Tron will be added soon. There are plans to connect Tron, Solana, and so on. And besides that, adding to various aggregators, cross-chain listings. Basically, AVA has launched about 10-15% of its planned functionality. So there is more to come. It's getting more interesting. And it's already clearly a project that's making waves on the global market. So, we continue to fully support it and believe in the further development of this product. Obviously, we understand what's happening within the company, within the team. Going back to what to do with locked tokens. Let's wait until AVA releases the necessary functionality, and then more information will be available. Next, the launch of AVA, of course, speaks to the validity and soundness of the idea, the capability of the team. Now we're launching another product. You could say in partnership. I was literally just messaging yesterday with Matt Sorg, the vice president of the Solana Foundation. We were actually on the jury with them at a bootcamp where startups were competing. And we are launching Solana validators. We're already running several test ones, testing all the challenges that arise ourselves. It's not that simple either. There are nuances. But in this time, we have received over 700 applications. I think some of them won't be relevant, because people didn't fully understand. But now there is an additional bot that asks clarifying questions. So it's important for us to make sure people understand the risks, understand the conditions, understand that they will need Solana. Some applications have already been rejected. There are fewer now, but still dozens, although not everyone has used the bot yet. And in January, we will start setting up validators for those who want them. I think we will limit it to a maximum of 500. This will become clear after talking with Matt. So, how many validators does Solana want to have in total, and by what time? Currently, 25 validators go live on mainnet per week, roughly 100 per month, and the queue moves accordingly. So if my one validator is around number 1800 in the queue, that would take about 18 months, but likely the queue will move faster. Plus there are nuances. We're talking about how we could speed up the queue. And you can speed up the queue by actively participating in the Solana ecosystem. And the Solana Foundation ecosystem is obviously interesting to us. They are a serious strategic partner, so the validator product might turn out a bit different. It's infrastructure focused, but in a way that's different. Meaning we are not launching our own token, but we are helping the Solana Foundation ecosystem ensure network security. And if we have a sufficiently large community of validators, I think that's good for negotiations with the Solana Foundation. Also, if you are following the crypto market, President Trump recently launched a meme coin that has pulled practically all the liquidity from the market, from all altcoins. Not only Bitcoin was growing, but also some American tokens, and the Trump and Melania meme coins. Of course, no one expected this. Everyone expected that during the inauguration, Trump would talk about Bitcoin, about creating a national reserve in Bitcoin, and tokens of American companies, which includes the Solana Foundation, Chainlink, and others. Of course, this is a big signal for the entire crypto market, and probably also for that part of the population that thinks cryptocurrencies are just a passing fad. But I believe that when the president of the richest country launches his own meme coin and declares that it's necessary to create reserves, or declare cryptocurrency a national priority of the United States of America, it indicates that this market is definitely not going anywhere and will develop further. And if anyone is building their portfolios, take a closer look at the tokens of American companies. Solana is among them. I think everything will be good for Solana in the long run. So, the validator product is developing. Infrastructure is being prepared to support hundreds of validators. Some of them are already working. In January, we will start onboarding external clients. Remember, the earlier a validator is set up, the shorter the queue. Those are my thoughts. I think we will hold a webinar soon where we will discuss the fund strategy for 2025 and the results for 2024. Although we already summarized the results. But we will review it again. And there's one thought. We are already receiving requests. The fund has a closed community for large investors, and some analysis might appear there. Let us know if you would be interested in the fund sharing its thoughts with a more open audience. Understandably, there is no time to deal with this now, but we will think about it. Maybe, if it's of interest to anyone, we could do it. And would another product be of interest? For those who don't want to constantly follow the market. Roughly speaking, an experimental portfolio that the fund is putting together, this isn't part of its main strategy, but with existing liquid assets, meaning tokens that are already trading, not like venture capital investing where the fund invests in the early stages. But there are, for example, some interesting, promising projects, or some information based on which one can assume that a particular token will grow. Information about partnerships, or new functionality, or the joining of major influencers. Would such an experimental product be of interest? When, for example, some tokens are bought into the portfolio every month, quite transparently, openly for investors within. These are just a collection of thoughts, because such requests are coming in. We didn't plan to do this, but if there's demand, demand creates supply. That's all from me. I wish everyone an excellent year and many access. If you are not in the crypto market, check out Donald Trump's official page on the social network X. There is information that Trump has launched his meme coin. In one day, it reached 17th place in the top cryptocurrencies of the world. This is, of course, madness, but such things are possible in cryptocurrency now. And we expect this year to be positive for the cryptocurrency market. I wish everyone good health. I wish everyone success. Thank you. So, I thank Alexander. Traditionally, firstly, I should agree with what was said, and secondly, say that if you heard an unfamiliar word from this person, be sure to Google it and read what it means. And at that very moment, you will become several times more effective. Because the information that Alexander possesses, which he speaks about, broadcasts, and on the basis of which we make certain strategic decisions, it's from the very cutting edge. Another positive thing is that you are here. You hear this information, and you can change something in your life. Think about accumulating 100 Solana tokens, setting up a validator, becoming a co-owner of the DigiU ecosystem, or, for example, taking advantage of DigiU wealth opportunities, deposits, and so on. That is for every person, no matter what stage of their venture capital investment journey they are at. We have offers. And this allows us, over 5 years, and now the 6th year has begun, to create both awesome technological products of international level and business solutions that earn from the first year of the project's existence, and to expand all of this, and also to create a very serious, loyal community that has gone through both the crypto market surge of 2020 and 2021 and the prolonged fall. And now the community is reaping the rewards of this close cooperation. This is very great. It motivates. It gives energy to move forward. This is how this webinar turned out. Once again, I urge you to look at all our activities that are currently launched. Participate somewhere, take a closer look somewhere, and follow very carefully somewhere else. I probably won't name the exact number now, but approximately 80% of users in the DigiU ecosystem receive snapshots from the Ava project. Go in, add your wallet, provide your address, which will be added to the whitelist. After we submit these wallets at the end of January, after a certain number of days, they will appear in the whitelist. You will be able to claim your vesting safe and holding in your hands what the DigiU ecosystem gave you for the contribution you made to it, and calculate how much it costs and how much it will bring you. As Alexander said, instructions, strategies, and recommendations will appear soon. Obviously, they will be updated. Therefore, follow and maximize your profitability. Do not miss these moments. They are truly both educational and profitable. If you just look at the raw numbers, Ava reached 25 cents and is volatile along with the market. The team is acting very competently. And let's take this 25 cents. Obviously, this is not the ceiling at all. It's a very minimal valuation. Along with the market and the launch of the next technological nuances, the token will grow in the long term. Because the model is designed that way, very well calibrated. Consider how much you received in some snapshot and relative to, for example, some contribution to the DigiU ecosystem. That is, I said at the webinar that before listing, we calculated that we distributed bonuses of about 2 million tokens and various shares alone. And at a price of, I think, 6 cents, we calculated conservatively, and that's the final ceiling that was available even before listing. Now calculate how much it is at a price of 25 cents. In general, calculating is a pleasant activity, but of course, there's also a vesting period and cliff and so on. That's why you need to claim your saves. Don't miss the post when we write instructions and announce that the ability to manage your saves in a familiar interface has appeared. Do it and receive even more rewards, experience, development, and everything else. Yes, Alexander said that it's already possible to do it, but it's not available to everyone, as you have to do it through smart contracts. As soon as everything is added, the path will open for everyone. For those who do not like complexities, such as managing through smart contracts, although it has been available for a long time. So, thank you for this webinar. I was very pleased to tell you everything, share, and answer questions. I didn't mention them directly, but in my speech and in Alexander's and Idar's, you will definitely find all the answers. If you have any more questions, please ask them. During the broadcast, we are in the chats, on Telegram, on YouTube. We will gladly answer everything. Thank you for today's meeting. All the best.